Okay, that is a batucada, and the starting and stopping part that I played is called a virada. And with the virada, it's used in several ways. Um, start a part, start a section, end a section, or it could even be like a transitional piece between a song. So it ties things together. So how do we play it? It's if it's just easy if I just show you how, because it's nothing much to break down. All you have to know is that if we wrote it down on paper, it would just be a group of 16th notes, a group of eighth notes, and then we would have one beat that's taken up by a quarter note, and that's an accented note that you also want to accent with your bass. And the bass is playing the surdo drum. So you could also play this note in unison with your right and left hand, one hand on the floor tom. And so with all three notes, bass, floor tom, and snare, you get this sort of hammering effect, as I like to call it. It sounds good if you use it for a punctuation like that. It's a real strong punch. So the way it looks, it's really simple. It's just, that's it. You could do that. And then there's a rest. So if it was one bar, it would just be one beat of sixteenths, one bar, one beat of eighths, and then the accent, and a rest. And then you go ahead and you start whatever samba you want. It's going to be better if you try to play something a little more traditional, like a simple samba or on the snare, or like a batucada, where you're using this sort of surdo drum effect in there. And I would say the only other thing about this that's important is making sure that when you play a samba, that you remember that we are playing 16th notes, but they're swung, and not to the point where it's completely swung either. I'd like to say that my understanding of Latin music, whether it's Afro-Cuban or Brazilian, is that there's a slight amount of swing in there. And for you drummers who understand hip-hop drumming and what's called the Dilla feel, there's this same sort of thing going on there. So without really getting into too deep of explanation about it or putting a bunch of demonstrations on it, I suggest you go and do a search and find all you can on the Batucada, and maybe check out some stuff on Afro-Cuban music, and try to find something traditional, and you'll hear this tinge of swing going on in there against straight. And so it's not really straight, it's not really swung. It kind of leans back and forth between the two, and never really reaches one or the other. But if I would have to say you want to learn how to play this music, start off playing it straight, and then work on playing it swung. And this is going to basically work like this. If you practice something like a batucada, practice it really slow and practice it straight. So think of it as everything is either eighth notes or 16th notes. It doesn't matter. You can even start off by playing a bossa nova, and you just want to make sure that you get this pattern in your feet straight first. So even slower than that. And you can use this kind of surdo thing in there to help you feel that accent on 3. So start off with maybe no accent at all on 1. So I'm just going to play 1 here on the snare. Okay, so that right there will help you feel that note on 3. That note on that heavy note on 3 is the Brazilian feel, and so the next trick is trying to get it to swing a little bit. And the best way to do that is just listen to this music, and then the next time when you work on your batucada, work on kind of leaning back and forth between swung and straight. All right, so that's it. Basically, all you have to do now is just put the 2 together, and it's just a matter of starting and stopping with this. So just set yourself up with a little, short phrase, and start and stop. And just do that, and just have fun with it.